Ladies and fellas, good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. How's that? How's that haircut? Dude, I look like a palm tree. How's everyone doing? Welcome to King Leo Show. I'm high energy today. I stopped sleeping with my phone in the same room. Great tip. Great tip, man. Some great stuff. Been getting a lot more rest. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? As everyone comes in here. We've had a big week, dude, but I'm hoping for a more private show tonight. Nick Fuentes' name seems to bring a lot of people out. But, I want to read the chats, dude. I was particularly curious what Arya, Ephra, and Schofield were saying last night, but can't go through the chat. So, we could call it a cope or something. Let me check the audio. The audio's okay. 1 second. But I really would be curious. Nick Fuentes' name seems to bring a lot. There we go. We're good. I really would be curious to actually interact with the chats, man. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me get my What Would Piers Morgan Do bracelet on, which you can get at the coffee link in the description. We're going to go through our plugs, and we have a lot to get through today. Dude, this Nick Fuentes thing will not die down. And I think it's an interesting time to be alive in terms of the conservative movement in the U.S. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and Charlie Kirk in his death have actually, I think that they may be responsible for killing and finally ending MAGA. I don't know why it worked out this way. It's kind of poetic. Some of the people that were most responsible for MAGA's creation are going to end it. And I'm very glad to see, Erica Kirk, the evil woman, as I like to call her, she's out here just humiliating herself and Charlie Kirk still. How you doing, Audio Vibes? And this will not end. It just seems like, dude, you have an attack from the rear of Nick Fuentes attacking every conservative. You have an attack from the side, which is Candace Owens attacking every conservative for being complicit. How you doing, D4? I live in an interview with Vampire World. Okay. And we have a consistent attack on coming from the inside, like from the Trump wing, which is so odd to see against Tucker Carlson that is being laundered through PBD, who's important. So there's a whole look. I normally it's just wrestling, but I do think there's a real divide forming, several of them, because this Tim Pool clip, dude, we're gonna watch. It's gonna be so funny, man. Candace Owens. I used to be critical of her. Now I realize she was just trying to drive conservative pundits nuts. And I'm all for that. That's hilarious, So more power to you, Candace. Let's get into it. Let's look at our plugs first. So here we have our We Are Charlie Kirk, says Audio Vibes. We carry the flame. Dude, it's insatiable, the appetite the world has for that song. Here is our Patreon. I'm going to do the video tomorrow about the Truman Show to start it off. Here we have the What Would Piers Morgan Do bracelet. What would Piers Morgan do with his wife? And here we have the Discord, which is free. And all right, let's get into it, dude, because there's a lot to. I don't think we're gonna have time for everything. Should we start with? You know what? Since everyone's getting here, and this is gonna do well as a clip, I think. I have to start with taking my own victory lap in the Nick Fuentes sense. And this is the second one I get to take, okay? Where I have been calling out people that are scum, usually scum. That's who I like to call out, scum. And D4 says Twilight interview. Gotcha, sir. That's a good one. And some of these scum that I call out, like Valentina Gomez, who's very funny, and like Michaela Peterson, I think someone is watching the show secretly. I can't tell who it is, but I put out this video 2 days ago, part of a stream, where I called it, Is Jordan Peterson Still Alive? It didn't go big. It's not like a viral video. And she made a video updating us on Jordan Peterson's health today. So I'm here in shock, like, dude, did I make her do a health check, a health update? So let's watch a little bit so I can gloat. Let me gloat, because that way you know that the King Leo Show, dude, we have our finger on the pulse. We are getting to Piers Morgan level, and we can predict the future. Let's watch here what I said, and then we'll watch Michaela's response. Saw that this was released 6 days ago, man. Jordan Peterson's lecture for Peterson Academy, which is his little, well, I'm not going to denigrate it. It's his academy to teach people about, I don't know, man. What does Jordan Peterson talk about these days? Step in and say, all right, now we need to like an update on Jordan Peterson's. Here I am. Here's the important part. Here I'm demanding an update. All right, now we need to know what's going on because this is not appropriate. I would like an update on Jordan Peterson's physical health. Oh, we can confirm today, and the reason that I wanted to bring this up is that I guess Jordan Peterson lives amongst us forever. Because so there's my video. You can watch the whole thing. I'll throw the link in here, which is a clip from the live stream where I demanded a health update on Jordan Peterson because I don't think that Jordan Peterson is doing well. I think Jordan Peterson might be dead because last we had heard, need I remind you, he was being attacked by literal demons, according to Michaela Peterson. So let's watch what Michaela Peterson released today as an update, which I did not find very reassuring. I found it to be pretty crass. Let's watch it. Here we go. I hate this dumb bitch. This is Erica Kirk, but for Jordan Peterson. She's just evil. I don't even like Jordan Peterson, and I feel for him here. All right, so let's watch this here, and let's see what she has to say about his health.
Hey guys, brief update on my dad, because I know a lot of you have reached out and asked and have been waiting for one, as have we, obviously. I don't have a lot to say because everything's been slow. He's still very unwell, but he's not in the hospital. I'm seeing him every day for hours, which is really nice. We're working with great specialists and giving him more time to recover. I'm hopeful he will recover with time.
First thing I note, I think this woman, this evil witch like Erica Kirk, has gotten more plastic surgery since we last saw her. Either some bone restructuring or something here in the face because she does not look the same. She looks freaky. And, oh, big surprise, Jordan Peterson's still sick. He's doing a little better, but he's still sick. He's been sick for 10 years, man. 10 years. Dude, this is like Joe Biden all over again. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. That was a weird administration. And now we're living here with this hell where Michaela Peterson, I have to rely on Jordan Peterson's rouge-wearing, plastic surgeryed up daughter with Botox in the face for an update on this man's health. Dude, I don't know what she's doing to this guy. I don't even like Jordan Peterson. I don't like him. But why are they doing this to him? Why are they torturing this poor man? Why? Let's continue.
Posted the last video, I didn't know if he would recover at all. It was really scary, and I'm hopeful now, but it's still early on, and he's still quite unwell, and we're still really not sure what's going on, whether it's an immune system issue, neurological, both. So I wanted to give an update that was like, things are really bad, but they're not as bad as they were a month ago or 2 months ago. So that's the update. I wish things...
Why are there so many jump cuts, dude? I really think that this is a Weekend at Bernie situation. And I think I called it correct in my video previously where I said that Jordan Peterson, he never really died because he never really lived. This is Charlie Kirk. She's going to be putting out AI Jordan Peterson videos for Peterson Academy for the next 100 years. You're going to have a 104-year-old Jordan Peterson looking like, how old is he now? Like 50? Forever. That's what's going to happen. Because this woman, how much money can you make off of your dad before you stop hitting the same horse? This is sick. This is sick. Where are his friends? Where is the rest of the political class? How did he get so alienated from everyone else? This was a guy who spoke to Donald Trump Jr. I remember that. You know, this is a guy who was a professor. Where are his professor friends? I don't think he's being attacked by demons. I think he's being tortured, being kept alive on a concoction of drugs. Because I need proof of life now. I don't trust you, woman. I don't trust you. Efra, how you doing? Wood, oh my God. Oh my God. D4 says, when a woman starts looking like a Bogdanov twin, it's a sign of corruption of the soul. Dude, there's no way. Jordan Peterson, who was a guy that was like, take responsibility for yourself. Be a man. Be confident. Stand up with your shoulders back. How could he allow his daughter to do all of these surgical modifications to her face? Isn't that against the whole 12 rules for life bullshit that was preached? And the funny thing is that whoever loves Jordan Peterson, because I see this in the comments to her health updates, they're all like, oh, we're praying for him. He saved my life in 2016, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you need to pray for him to get out of this Silence of the Lamb situation where he's trying to scratch his way out of a pit, and Buffalo Bill here, his daughter, will not let him out of the house. Look, usually we go for analysis on the show, and I guess this kind of counts as analysis, but this is just sick. This is just sick. D4 says Jordan Peterson is dead. Caleb Peterson is keeping a secret to keep his mail order supply going. It sounds like a joke, but I suspect it at this point. Let's continue.
We'll just go back to normal, but they're not there yet. Thank you so much for your prayers. We need them. I'll let you guys know as soon as I can if anything changes. Hopefully he's on the road to recovery. As for me, I haven't really been online, or at least posting, because the situation is stressful and sad, and I don't really want to get on a camera and pretend everything's okay. So I've basically been offline really since last February with the pregnancy. Then Audrey, my 7-month-old now, getting incredibly sick, then dad getting sick. Audrey, on the other hand, is doing really well.
Dude, oh Lord, man. Dude, we are going crazy now. Why are you sharing all of this information? I'm tuning in for a Jordan Peterson health update, not his grandchild. I'm not even sure I believe her. Show me that a grandchild exists. I don't even believe her anymore. It seems every time there's an update, another person is getting attacked by demons. The reason I bring this up, dude, is I think we have reached a Britney Spears situation here. All right, not to be coy, this is a free Britney situation. Whether you hate Jordan Peterson or you love him, dude, hashtag free Jordan, man. This is sick. What is she doing to this man? As a human being, you should feel something about this. And I'm not a guy that likes to prescribe how to feel. But guys, this is not okay. If a poor person was doing this, the police would get involved. The police would go, all right, they haven't left the house. There's no proof of life. There's a life insurance policy on him, and you're making videos and sending them to the police station. I think we're going to go check out what's going on. This is a suspicious situation. But no one's doing this. No one cares about this poor man.
Praise God for that. We still aren't sure what happened. Like, she almost died from a heart issue, even though her heart is normal. She was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary hypertension. And that seems to have been a one-off freak incident that hasn't repeated. So, like I said, praise God for that. Jury's still out if there's a long-term problem that they just can't find. I'll probably be paranoid about it until she's 20. But so far, at least that's under control. The plan for content is to start the podcast up in January.
Why are we getting a content update? He's supposedly almost dying. What do I care about the content? This is Erica Kirk, bro. This is literally an Erica Kirk situation, but Jordan Peterson is still alive, supposedly. What are they doing to this man? Does she have a cattle prod and she's making him record Peterson University? How much money? How much money?
I've recorded 2 episodes that I would really like to release and catch everyone up on the last year of what my family's been going through. I plan to do a pregnancy episode about all things pregnancy and postpartum when I was pregnant, but it was such a difficult pregnancy that I will get into on that episode that I couldn't record the episode. But I'll catch up on that and do a few Q&As and launch the podcast, hopefully in January. That's the plan anyway. I'm not going to do another dad update until something changes more significantly with him, hopefully for the better. But as soon as he's doing better, like I said, you guys will know. The only thing I've...
And you know what's unfortunate is the amount of Botox this woman has. Does not allow me. It's like when you're watching a Hollywood movie now, you can't tell what they're actually expressing. I can't tell if she's lying because her face doesn't move anymore. This is going to become a problem for police investigations, by the way, where people with Botox cannot be interrogated because we don't know what they are actually thinking. And I don't want to go full Q schizo here, but at this point, I'm trying to find signs. Maybe it's a cryptic message. Why is she wearing this Bambi shirt? Does it have to do with, the hunter kills Bambi's mom? Is she confessing? I'm not doing the Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens thing, dude. I'm not going to read into it. But if we don't have proof of the life of this man within a week, I'll give her a month. Then, dude, someone should call the police. It's not going to be me, but someone should call the police.
I've really been able to keep up with throughout this period is Peterson Academy, which has been going incredibly well. I'll do a dedicated video on that too, because I haven't gone into details and I'm really proud of what we've built. We have 70 courses now, like 8-hour courses. There are a couple of 12-hour courses. There's one 6-hour course, but we have 70 courses now on the platform. We launched with 18. We launched our mobile app about 3 weeks ago. We hired some more people. The whole team.
Is this a fiscal update on Peterson Academy's financials too? This is sick shit, bro. Sick.
Really, everyone working is super motivated to provide great education and a community, and they're all really good, hardworking people. We've been working on this more than full-time since 2022, and we now have a core group of people that we spent years looking for that are basically 1 in 10,000 rare, maybe more, extremely talented. It's hard to find very talented people. So Peterson Academy is going incredibly well, and it's going to continue going incredibly well, Lord willing. Dad's spending his time actually watching the courses now, which is very cool. And he likes them, which is a good thing. As for my content, I'm going to start posting videos, I think, like I said, in January, I hope. And I know I said that last time and planned to, but I've been too stressed out. But things are a bit better now, and I miss it, so I'll do my best. I hope you guys are doing well, and I can't thank you enough for the outpour of prayers and messages after the last video. They have been so helpful to me. I don't even have words for how helpful they've been. I know they've helped my mom too. That's really made a difference this year, getting through a whole bunch of crazy health things. So thank you guys. Like I said, I can't describe how helpful.
Whoa, thank you, Robert. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Thank you for the super chat, sir. How you doing? Good evening when gambling. What did he play, Robert? What did he play? By the way, guys, if you want me to see something, you have to either super chat it if you can, but that's fine, or you have to @ me, @KingLeoMiami, and I can see it.
People reaching out has been, even if I haven't responded, there have been thousands and thousands of messages, and it's been really nice. So I will talk to you guys soon. I also have an announcement too that I will put out in a few days that I'm excited about. It's nothing to do with Dad, but something I've been wanting to do for a very...
And of course, it's all about her. And did you catch this? Like any Michaela Peterson video, we can expect the flex here. If you've ever worked in film, you know that actors do this. Look at this. Look at this subtle flex. Look at this. Look at my ice. Look at my ice. This man is being tortured to death. He is being tortured to death. And I know this sounds like gossip, but this has inspired something in me, just like when Charlie Kirk died, where I am... What else is there to say?
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
This is the gutter. This is the end of... We live in hell, bro. And Jordan Peterson's hell. No one deserves this. All right, let's get to our other stories. I think we can actually get to Schizo Watch now. Let me see here. If I zoom in close. Oh, Robert says, at the Green Valley Casino, great Keno. I don't know that game, Keno. I like to play poker. All right. Let's move on here. Let's get to Schizo Watch. Let's play our title card. So this country's going insane, as we always point out on the show. And it's important to stay updated on how crazy it's going. Let's see here. Michael Knowles. I don't like any of these guys. I don't like the Ben Shapiro guys. I don't like these conservative types, all right? Not because of, not even their politics. Their politics are atrocious. They're disgusting. But what's really terrible about them is the bourgeois quality to them. Let's see what Michael Knowles did in a debate. Debate culture is out of control. Let's see what he's doing now.
Because of the great Trump economy in 2021, I'm wearing a Rolex Datejust.
Very nice.
So to be clear, while millions of low-income Americans are losing their health coverage because of Trump's bill, he's getting a lot richer.
So look, I'm sure this kid here is some stupid, like, debate type Democrat. And I say that for everyone, for all these debaters. You guys know I'm not a fan of debate. But how are these people, dude? I need to, I'm going to quote Fuentes, dude. Like, the Goyim are not people. These people, they are not human beings, man. You're cheering on Michael Knowles for buying a Rolex Datejust. You know how much that costs? It costs as much as a car, because guess what? Cars cost $20,000 minimum now, unless you're buying a rebuilt title, in which case you might as well buy a handgun too, because you're not going to get insured. So what is the point of the Daily Wire? What is the point of conservatism? Is it to drive, that is to drive liberals nuts? Which, all right, liberals are annoying. They're annoying, sure. But what are we doing here? What are we doing to these? How are people cheering this on? Who is the Daily Wire audience? Who are these sick people that cheer on someone? Look, man, I like. Everyone likes to flex. Everyone likes to flex some shit all the time, right? Everyone likes to flex. But this is sick. This is sick. Why would you cheer this on? Why would you? It's activating some like hidden Marxism or something where we must take this watch and redistribute it. What has Michael Knowles done? What has he done to earn this? He got Trump elected. Great stuff. Let's continue. What else have we got? We got here an update on the Venezuela situation, which we've been covering on the show. Today, the United States stopped an oil tanker, which was sanctioned. And that's interesting enough because the war is escalating. We might actually get into a ground war at some point. But what's happening now is that Nicolas Maduro, if you're not aware, the dictator or president of Venezuela, all interpretations are valid on this channel, dude, whatever you want to think, has become a pop icon. And since I'm half Venezuelan, I get the updates, dude. And this is true. This is happening where his speech where he was telling Trump, no crazy war, has become an anthem. It's become a club anthem in Latin America. The most Baudrillardian world leader right now is Nicolas Maduro. And I don't know if it'll pay off, but let's see how people are vibing. That's not him speaking. That's his speech it's an anti-Trump speech, anti-war speech that they've remixed.
Please. Yes, please. Peace forever. Lenguaje tarzaneado.
So Donald Trump has created a pop icon. Trump should have gone into the music game because he wanted a war, is what I was told, what I expected, honestly. But what we're getting out of this whole confrontation is the next Venezuelan pop sensation. Like, we're Bad Bunny, Take a Rest. We have Maduro doing the halftime show. Is this what Trump wanted the outcome to be? Because it's really something. It's really, I did not expect this to happen. Let's continue. We got here, I found this clip. As you guys know, I'm learning more about this Fuentes guy. more, especially since Piers had him on, because we're keen Piers watchers on the channel. And I found this clip where I gotta say, I'm someone who is somewhat ambivalent on this illegal immigrant situation. You know, all my life, as someone whose parents were legal, you know, we were always more like, you know, these people, they're not following the law. And then with Trump's just these performative sadism, I become a lot softer on this, in the sense of, dude, like, you don't have to do it the way you're doing it. The way you're doing it is pretty gross, President Trump. And it seems even Nick Fuentes, who I was told this week, he's a racist. He said it himself, that he loves Adolf Hitler. He loves the German guy, from the guy from Germany in the 30s. A cruel, cold-hearted individual. Is also, we had already seen him say that it's inappropriate what's happening. The way that Trump is conducting this, that he's just pissing people off. And here he actually stuck up for some illegals. And I don't even go this far myself yet. I wouldn't say that illegals are good people in general. Just I wouldn't say that about anyone. But he's actually saying this, which is the rhetoric that you have to have in order to sort of slow this down, because it is ugly what they're doing. Let's see here.
Because these illegals that come here, I understand what you're saying. They're not bad. Like, I know illegal aliens, and they're good people. Like, they work hard. They're religious. And a lot of them love America. Because these illegals.
So see, it's just, it's really, here we have the full context. If we want to see, let's watch the full thing.
As far as illegal aliens are concerned, I mean, here's the thing. Like, we had 10 million come in under Biden. 10 million illegals in 4 years.
Yeah.
You got to get all those people out. You know, like the idea that 10 million people come in and like, oh, now they're here forever. Like Biden wasn't enforcing the laws. They slipped in. Oh, now we have to keep them forever. No, that's ridiculous. Like, that's a population the size of New York City. And now they're our problem. And they are our problem, because why do you think they came here? They came from Venezuela for the most part, fleeing the Maduro regime.
Yeah.
They don't have skills. Like, they're not coming here with college degrees. They don't speak English. They don't have any capital. What are they going to contribute? They're going to buy an iPhone and an e-bike, and they're going to be DoorDash drivers. And now we got to pay for their healthcare, their education, their kids. No, we don't. We're not doing that. And I would say, you know, we maybe have 30 to 40 million illegals here. Let's get all the violent criminals out. Let's get the 10 million that came in under Biden. Maybe do a little more than that. It's maybe not practical to deport every single illegal alien, but a lot of them are going to have to go back. It is like a huge problem. And we have to stop being the stupid country here. What is the obligation that these people have to obey our laws, to embrace our culture? What is the obligation of their government to take care of their own people? Because these illegals that come here, I understand what you're saying. They're not bad. Like, I know illegal aliens, and they're good people. Like, they work hard. They're religious. And a lot of them love America. I get it. I have sympathy for them. That being said, it's a major imposition on the United States from a financial and economic point of view, from a cultural point of view. You know, they bring their culture over here, and they take over entire neighborhoods, and they're going to have tons of kids.
But the Latinas.
The Latinas are bad. They're bad. they can
so
stay. They can stay.
And look, man, even if you're more on the left, which is fine, you know, we have people from all over here. I think we skew left slightly. Maybe not after this week, but we've been skewing left. I understand, you know, you're more humanitarian inclined. For me, it was the way I was raised, which was like, dude, we did it the right way, you know? And so my parents were always like, look, we understand that these people are... My parents actually always blamed the corporations. They were like, dude, these people are hiring them. It's not even their fault. You know, these people, it's a terrible system because you've essentially created another slave class. I think Victor David Hanson makes this point a lot too, where he says, dude, this is unfair to them as well. We have a new slave class here. And it's messed up. We shouldn't have that. We should raise the minimum wage so that everyone actually has to pay it. And then these guys will put pressure on their government and their countries will succeed as well. I'm not saying I fully agree with that position, but I think it's pretty close to reality in terms of, dude, especially as someone of Latino descent, Bro, like Commander Zero said this during the war in Nicaragua, and he was on the communist side. He said, dude, we want to fix this country so our people don't have to flee like we have had to, you know? And to see Fuentes here, dude, if this was the Trump position, I don't know, because this is one of those things where Piers calls him Two-Face. I don't know if this is his real position, but why would I doubt what he says? Do we need to, the way that it's being done is very ugly, and it's very bad, and no one likes it. I guess some people like it, like the performatively cruel people like it, but it's really mean. And it's nice to see people from the right start to attack this as well, because I'd only seen Richard Spencer do that previously. And now Nick Fuentes is doing it too. So, you know, I may not agree with him on maybe like 95% of things. But that's I'm glad to see someone on the right saying this rhetoric, because dude, come on, you can't tell me that these hype edits that cost $1 billion, I think the actual number is $300 million in all those videos, is worth it, is correct for the taxpayer and for the poor people that are getting. Dude, like, there's bad people. Obviously, there's criminals. There's also people that don't have criminal convictions, you know, except for coming illegally, of course, which is criminal. But yeah, I know this conversation has become impossible because the adults have left the room with the Trump administration. And I'm glad to see that Nick Fuentes, who for all of his faults that I've been told he has, is one of the saner voices here. So interesting. All right, let's continue. What else we got? We got some more Kirk edits. We got Charlie Kirk holding up Halo 3. We're going to get into Erica Kirk in a bit. So as you can see, Charlie Kirk is not dead. In fact, he went back in time. He just got the Xbox 360. Thank you, AI, for keeping him alive. Here we have, once again, I'm here to show you that the nightclubs are a-poppin' with the Maduro remix in Latin America.
Vos estás en la disco y de repente te ponen el remix de Maduro.
I think this is literally in Mexico, and they're dancing to the Venezuelan dictators, please to not do a war with the United States. Very interesting.
Esto se llama lenguaje tarzaneado.
President Trump, you've outdone yourself, dude. I have been critical of a lot of that you've done, but you created a Latin sensation. Thank you. Might be good for us. Here we have the actual footage. This is the footage of the United States taking on the oil tanker, which was sending oil illegally, if you go by that, to Cuba. The United States, I guess, repossessed the vessel. They blocked it. So there is an escalation here. So while people are vibing at the club to the Maduro remix, happenings are going on, dude. This is a big story that not a lot of people are covering, especially considering that today Maria Corina Machado, the democratically elected president of Venezuela, if you want to believe that, received her Nobel Prize, and her daughter gave a very powerful speech. My dad actually called me and said, "Who wrote this?" And I was like, probably the CIA, you know? But United States is stepping up over there, so it's important to keep this in mind, dude. I thought it was no new wars, big fellas. I thought it was no new wars, but I guess not. I wanted to show you this. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, has released this website called dhs.wow. If you go here, WOW stands for worst of the worst. And here you can put in any country of origin and see people who have been arrested from there and the state. And I played around with this website a little bit because I was curious. First of all, I'm from Florida, so this isn't really an affront to me. We have a public records law that allows for this. So you can, you know, so a lot of people were like, this is exposing people's identities. I mean, in Florida, you're American or non-American, they still get you, you know? So here you can filter by country. What I thought was interesting was, so first of all, they have Equatorial Guinea on here. And I was like, dude, there's no way there's an Equatorial Guinean that's been arrested. That's a tiny African country, the only one that speaks Spanish. And I was right. There's no Equatorial Guineans. Good for the Equatorial Guinean community. Good for you guys. I'm happy for you. But the other one that was interesting was I looked up that country in the Middle East that always gets our streams taken down. And I'm not really focusing on the other guys, but the last guy here, I was like, dude, this is weird. I'm not trying to be stereotypical here, but I did not expect to see this on that page. This guy here. I was like, this guy doesn't look like a guy from that country, you know? Well, I guess people would tell me, well, you know, the people from that country are supposed to be someone else. And I was like, what? This is weird. And when I did that, I noticed that in the performative cruelty aspect that the Trump administration does, you can hit the X button to tweet it, or you could truth it, or you could Facebook it. So we have that. You know, I looked up, I was like, bro, we are gonna, I don't know what's going on with us, man. I looked up Venezuela and it's disappointing. We are not doing well on the public front. Look at this, 13 pages. Oh my God, he has my name. All right. You know, so if you want to have some fun tonight, you can look through the countries here. They have Yugoslavia, which is weird. No, I don't want to give feedback. Look, they have Yugoslavians arrested. I guess they're arresting time travelers. What the fuck? How are they doing this? Arresting Yugoslavians. All right, let's continue. What else we got? Okay, and this is a good one here because I don't know about you guys. Look, I don't like this race war that's going on in America. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like this race war. But what I've always been a fan of are ethnic rivalries. I love ethnic rivalries. If you ever watch the World Cup or the Copa America, even better, the American Cup with a Latin American like myself, you will hear the worst racism of your life towards your neighbor. You know, we will say the worst things about Colombians when we're playing them at soccer. Like we will come out with racial stereotypes from the 17th century. Like it goes that deep, you know. And it seems that President Trump has activated an ethnic rivalry between West Africans and East Africans that my producer, who's from East Africa, had warned me about. And let's read this tweet, which says, while Somalis fight MAGA racism, this is the kind of minstrel show that Nigerians do for white people. Trump has, dude, he brought back ethnic rivalries. He brought back Gangs of New York. He brought back Venezuelan pop music. It's like we're living in the what? Now we have Twitter warfare between African diasporas over who's being who's showing out for the white man. And of course they had to use this video, which we reviewed in the past. So Nigerians, this is what Somalis think of you, right? President Trump, you have resurrected ethnic rivalries. That's really something. I never thought we'd see it in the US again. I thought this would be cool to show. The Chinese, dude, you know, on this channel, we are very China curious. We are very China curious. And a Chinese game studio released a World War II game or Sino-Japanese war game. I know they had two of those. And it actually looks fucking dope, dude. Call of Duty's been slacking. I'm a Black Ops 1 fan. That's my favorite video game of all time. And we have the Chinese innovating and making their own Call of Duty. Dude, this is badass. Watch this. Xi Jinping, I don't know what you're feeding those Chinese developers, but this looks badass. This is the coolest looking video game I've seen in 10 years. What are you going to play? The new Assassin's Creed? That shit is ass. I bet we're going to get Chinese Call of Duty before GTA 6. This is awesome. I'm going to play this, dude. As I use Chinese, the Chinese version of Linux. I have it on a USB, the Kylan stuff. This is badass, dude. This is badass. What are they feeding those devs? I haven't seen, and you know, people will be like, oh, it looks dated. It looks like World at War. Who gives a shit, dude? This is cooler than any game that I've seen in a long time. So I gotta start practicing my Mandarin. All right. I think that's the end of Schizo Watch, dude. We have to move on to, do we start? I think we start with the Piers Morgan humiliation ritual. Let's play us out here. So firstly, the memes have started, dude. The Fuentes and Piers Morgan memes. And they're not disappointing, bro. I've learned this new word called the Groiper curse. Apparently, what's happening is the Groipers, who are the fans of Nick Fuentes, I knew that they have this uncanny ability to just torture enemies of Nick Fuentes. Especially when he gives his fatwa, like the Ayatollah. This is the American Ayatollah here. He will send them after you. I hope I haven't said anything to offend his followers. I've had a lot of Fuentes followers come into the channel, and they've all been very respectful. They've all said, you know, I can tell you don't agree with him, but it's cool, man. Like, you're being respectful. And this is an analysis channel. We're not trying to condemn anyone except Michaela Peterson. So the Groiper curse has commenced on Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan is a hero of the show. We love Piers Morgan.
Say the N-word. Go on.
We love Piers Morgan because Piers Morgan is a weather vane for us. He's a very important figure to know the way that society is actually moving. But these Groipers have come out and started attacking my goat. My goat. My goat. And so, you know, before we do, let's let one out for Piers before that.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
He is the GOAT, even if you hate him, guys. He gave you so much entertainment. This was the best WWE match of all time. So let's start with the memes that they're making, these Groipers, which are very funny.
But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow, says the guy who's never got laid.
It's a good one. All right, let's continue here. So they have started to come after my goat's wife. Piers. I still love you, man. I will always defend Piers Morgan. But Piers seems to have a strange relationship with his wife. Look, he's married to an aristocrat, okay? He divorced his first wife. Piers is a complicated guy. For all the Groipers that may be listening, and the reason that I love him is he's kind of like, if you've seen that show Mad Men, he's kind of like Donald Draper, okay? Piers's dad died very young. He's Irish. A lot of people don't know that. He took his adoptive father's name because of this. He changed his identity. He fit in with the posh crowd and eventually went to work for a tabloid Daily Mirror, started an international anti-war movement, called elections right since I can remember. He won American television. He won The Apprentice. He won Dancing with the Stars. This is a great man. And look, he married an aristocrat. Okay? I'm not saying that you should pursue this lifestyle. But when you marry an aristocrat, you know, it becomes eyes wide shut up all up in there. And a lot of these Groipers are going after his wife for having an aristocratic relationship with her husband. Let's be genteel on Piers. So They pulled up these quotes from an interview she did. Let's read the tweet. Upon researching Piers' wife, his wife just clearly hates him and F's other men. I don't know if anyone can deny this. It's every interview. I couldn't find her saying anything positive about him. He bribed her with gifts and wore her down, according to her. And here we have the interview. Being married to Piers is basically one very long eye roll. But what people don't realize about Piers is that he's usually very quiet at home because he's exhausted himself on whatever interview he's been doing. This is the only reason I am sad about him leaving Good Morning Britain. Well, that and the fact that I wake up and there he is staring back at me morning after morning. Celia adds, I actually had a friend who had a crush on Piers, and I told her she was mad, but we arranged to meet for the interview, and Piers managed to string it out over the course of about 4 different meetings. He kept saying, yeah, there are a few things I didn't quite get, and each of these meetings ended up in us having more and more alcohol until eventually he declared his real motivations and said, the thing is, you tick every single one of my boxes. And I said, well, that's weird because you don't tick any of mine. And now look at me, cue a resigned sigh. Following their first boozy lunch at legendary London haunt, the Ivy, Salman Rushdie was in one corner of the restaurant, Margaret Thatcher in the other. Piers ramped up the chase. After the interview, the former Sunman and Fleet Street's youngest ever editor, aged 28, began his, quote, gifts. And then we have another article. Piers Morgan reveals he met his wife Celia Walden after he bombed while giving a speech and she laughed at his discomfort. Goibers, fellas. First of all, we're going to continue with this, but listen. Piers is shameless. You're not going to win this. You're not going to win this. I'm sorry. Piers is a guy. If you don't think he's in on it, if you don't think that he wants this hate, he's a heel, dude. He loves the hate. One of the few that can do this accurately. He really loves being hated. And you don't understand the great man. Let's continue. This is one of the reactions of many that's coming out of this whole Piers Morgan interview. And as I said, and I think me and Efra talked about it in the chat. Look, man, no one cares about your family history. No one does. I've learned this the hard way. I can talk to you about Pinochet. I can talk to you about Perez Jimenez. I can talk to you about Hugo Chavez. No one cares. And as I've said repeatedly on this show, it seems that the Jewish community, who again, I have no problem with. I like Jewish people. I have no issues with them. Dude, something has happened where the only good propagandists, and I'm using that term denotationally because propaganda is a tool that we all use in our daily life. You're propagandizing yourself all the time. I'm not saying it in the 1984 Big Brother way. The last good propagandist is literally Benjamin Netanyahu because he's hilarious. Like, he is genuinely, put the war or genocide aside, whatever you want to call it. We reviewed him last week doing a stand-up bit about his corruption trial. At the UN, he was eating up all the hate. He was like, yes, more hate. Oh, yes, I love this. And everyone else has just dropped the ball. They're doing ridiculous stuff. So let's see here. This is a reaction to this portion of the interview.
Difference is you're attacking my father. You know, he could get fired from his job.
I'm not attacking your father.
You are.
No, I'm not. I don't know your father. And to be clear, I have no knowledge about him at all.
Well, then let's leave him out of it. Let's leave him out of it if you don't know him.
Hang on, Nick. You put that story into the public domain on your show. I'm simply reminding you of what you told everybody, millions of people, about your father. If you now want to retract it, fine. If you want to say it was a joke, which is what your position was earlier, fine. But I'm allowed to put to you things you've said publicly. That's not unfair. That's not me targeting your father.
So this is the clip about his dad, which I had someone in the comments say, and it's kind of Piers' argument if Nick Fuentes brought it up on his show. I'm really conflicted about it because it's a low blow. You're not supposed to do that. Look, I've talked about my family here to an extent. If I were to do an interview and you brought up my family, I would pull a Tom Cruise. Put your manners back in. Okay, this is not fair. I'm here to talk about myself. But I can see the other side too. And we have here this guy, David Schwartz, former executive committee member of Brooklyn's Democratic Party, youngest person ever elected to that position, progress, not perfection, who says here, Nick Fuentes jokes about the ovens my grandparents were thrown into alive and glorifies the architect re-traumatizing millions of Jews. Begging him to stop violates his freedom of speech. Piers Morgan repeating his words is off limits because his dad may need to update LinkedIn. First of all, I would say in regards to, dude, if we're going to go with this, in Spanish, there's an expression. Fear is free. Fear is free. You can be free to fear anything you want. That's not my responsibility. When you start using the word re-traumatizing, look, man, World War II and the events that happened there were tragic. It was sad. It's not good. Okay, I'm not endorsing. I'm not going Nick Fuentes. All right, I'm not going to be here and be like, oh, Hitler was a great guy. Look, I'm Latin American. We weren't involved. We gave oil to the United States. That's all we did. Chile declared war on Japan like a month before the war ended. My family was in Latin America. Okay, I don't have to be guilty about this. I didn't do anything. Okay, we weren't in Europe or America or Japan or China. And look, this is a tragic event. I've seen Schindler's List. I've seen Shoah, great documentary. But it's kind of like if you told me now that Trump was re-traumatizing me every day because he's making Maduro a pop star, that would be ridiculous. It'd be like, oh, every day you make me think about how my family had to leave this country because the economy went wrong. Or if he talks about Pinochet, every time they talk about Pinochet, they're like, oh, you shouldn't do this because it makes me think of my uncles who had to escape to Canada and Norway. Dude, we're being silly here. What is this reaction? What is going on with the Jewish community? Dude, like you need to have a more adult reaction to counter this stuff. And dude, you guys know me. I'm an analysis channel. I'm rooting for good WWE. I want a good fight. I'm Don King over here, and I want to see Ollie and Frazier go round for round. And this doesn't cut it for me. It doesn't cut it for me. And it doesn't end there, because here we had the same guy that Piers pulled up. My mom, my dad. I get it, dude. I have tragic family history too. All right. I'm not American. Not to say Americans haven't had tragic histories or whatever. But dude, if you're an American and you've been here since 1890, it's been on the up and up. It's been going pretty well. Everyone has trauma if you're like an immigrant or from another country. And he was out there saying, Stalin is evil. Hitler is evil. This is hurting my feelings. And he had to go out and make an interview about it. And like I said, because Piers is the master. Piers is the master wizard.
Say the M word. Go on.
Piers, I think that this was a marketing ploy for his buddy's book. He was just trying to get his buddy's book to blow up. So let's see what he had to say here when he was being interviewed about the Fuentes interview, his recap.
I'm robust enough that someone like Nick Fuentes doesn't upset me. That's after what he's attempting to do. I think there's the big question, obviously, as to whether you should conduct these interviews with people like Nick Fuentes at all. But I think Piers Morgan is correct in doing it and actually challenged him pretty effectively. Of course, there'll be people who'll watch that who'll side with him. He has plenty of fans, and there are an awful lot of people on the internet, so you don't need to have very many fans for it to feel like a lot of people. But in general, I think that when you support genocidal mass murderers, you put yourself outside reasonable discourse, and Piers Morgan succeeded in putting Nick Fuentes in that place in a way that Tucker Carlson did not. Mm-hmm. And I think that has value. It is a bit, not more than a bit disturbing. It's extremely worrying to see a trend on the young Republican right towards people like Nick Fuentes, who are openly and explicitly racist, because he said he was.
So now he is, now he's betraying Piers. He's betraying Piers. Like, what are we? Also, Piers did him a disservice, probably on purpose, when he sent that video, because he was dressed like a slob. His camera quality was shit. And here he's doing an interview where he's supposed to be talking about important stuff, And he can't look at the fucking camera. Look, at least he's cleaned up, but I can't see his tie. He can't look at the fucking camera. Blurred background, because your background's not organized. Camera angle tilted up, the worst angle. If you don't know that, guys, don't take a picture. Guys and gals. The gals know this. I don't have to say this to the ladies. Fellas, do not take a picture this way up, because it makes you look fat. It's not a good angle. So what is wrong with, dude, the aesthetics are just terrible. They're terrible. You lose by default.
And who are dismissive of historical precedent. Being young, he may be kind of, at the best, I would say he's gigantically ignorant, and at worst, morally completely insensitive. So, but I think that, it's still valuable to project that to people who may not have come across him. What worries me is less Nick Fuentes' moral lack of scruple, which is reasonably rare, more his ignorance, which is very widespread, and this suicidal, from the United States point of view, commitment to America to cut itself off from all of its allies, and this will be disastrous for all the allies, which Nick Fuentes doesn't care about. But it will also be disastrous for the United States, because his historical ignorance doesn't encompass the disasters that the United States brought on itself by isolationism. So his ignorance means that he's simply wrong about the central argument he makes, as well as being able to laugh at someone like me, or or to laugh at the murder of my relatives.
This reminds me of, and my lefty followers will agree, because this channel, we kind of started by analyzing Zoran Mamdani and his campaign. This is exactly what they did to Zoran Mamdani. And it didn't work, because it's ridiculous, because it's stupid. It's the worst form of argument. Zoran won, and they will not change their strategy. And like any good WWE enjoyer, I love to watch, dude, I love to watch old boxing matches, man. I love to watch Mike Tyson highlights, because it's a good fight, because it's an interesting fight. And here we're reliving the Zoran Mamdani crap all over again. Zoran won. And I don't want to make a prognostication here, because we don't know what the goals or the abilities of Nick Fuentes really are. At least on this channel, I'm sure if there's Groypers in the chat, you guys think he's going to be king and everything, which is fine. But I'm not sure if he's going to do that. But I can guarantee that he's going to come out on top, at least in terms of publicity. If this is your counter reaction, dude, this is the same shit they pulled with Zoran. Same exact shit. They're not, the only thing they're not doing is going after his religion and his ethnicity, because with Zoran, it was that they called him all sorts of things, dude. A jihadist, Muslim Brotherhood. I don't remember if anyone called him an Arab, but they might as well have, even though he's not. And they're doing the same thing all over again. It's ridiculous. Let's continue. We have here, this is, I'll tell you who it is that's tweeting this, and we'll look at it after, because as people are pointing out, Morgan's family is now being used to attack Piers.
You want to go after families? We could play that game. Your family's greenlit then too, Piers. Your family's greenlit as well. So, fuck you and your family. Fuck you and fuck your kids. You bring my dad into it, you're all greenlit as far as I'm concerned. So, don't play that. That's BS. You want to go?
First of all, I'd say, dude, it wasn't just a fatwa. This guy is actually very aggressive. This is like Al Capone in The Untouchables. Robert De Niro. I want him dead. I want his wife dead. I want his kids dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. Like, dude, the Italian in this guy, the Mexican too, really came out like this is narco talk. Like this is wild. This is all right. It's good WWE, but now it's getting a little bit real, dude. Like this is what. And here we have Spencer Morgan, who's Piers Morgan's son, saying, "Cheers, mate," at Nick J. Fuentes with the laughing emoji, because I'm sure he inherited his father's wit. Here we see him, Spencer, with Ronaldo. All he tweets about really is football or soccer and this. So you can rest assured his family has received the message as well. Let's continue. They've already made, I remember these charts back in the day on Twitter. They used to be circulated from, they'd pull them from 4chan, like these attacks on people. And here we, dude, they've made charts already showing Piers' wife's history of posting young bucks on her Instagram. Right here. I wear the trousers. You know, Piers is, pardon the expression, he's jerking to this right now. He fucking loves this shit, dude. A long-time viewers will know Piers loves this kind of shit. This is awesome. I bet they are both having a great time with this. This is awesome. How did they do this in like 48 hours? I'm pretty good at Photoshop, but wow, to pull all of these. Let's continue. Here we have Nick Fuentes himself responding to Piers Morgan. Because Piers Morgan here. All right, let's play the video because there's already edits of. I gotta say the Groypers are a great addition to WWE. Like this is actually kind of fun now. So they've already made edits of the reaction to the interview.
I apologize for nothing. I take nothing back. You want to expose me? Everybody supports it. Congratulations. You did your proper expose and everybody stands with me and nobody stands with you and your pussy hat and your empathetic kids and all your other nonsense. You have to deal with that new reality. You don't have to like me. You can think I'm a jerk. You can think I'm irresponsible. You can think whatever you want about me. It's not about me. It's about what I am expressing. I am just the person that happens to be expressing it because I understand it. I have the brains to perceive it, I understand it, and I can articulate it. And I fought for 10 years to do that. I just happen to be the spokesperson. I just happen to be the vessel. So it's not about me. It's about this message. That is the new reality that people are going to have to get used to. And that goes for Piers and Tucker. That goes for Piers and colorblind Tucker.
He's attacking Tucker, the Vince McMahon of this, the guy who put it all together.
Because nothing's about race and nothing's about Jews. The new reality is, no, it's not about the economy. It's about our identity. It's not about the housing market and the job market. It's about who we are as a people. The Jews have people.
Okay, we're going to cut it off there. I don't want YouTube to get mad. So Nick responds is the tweet to Piers Morgan's futile expose. I apologize for nothing. I was kind of thinking, I was talking with the producer afterwards, and I was like, dude, this is kind of like the end of 8 Mile, you know, where Eminem goes out there and he's like, yeah, I'm poor, fuck it, you know. And Fuentes, he's definitely won the rap battle. I don't know if he's won the rap war. Yeah, I'm racist. Don't clip that. I don't identify as a racist. Yeah, I'm racist. Yeah, I'm sexist. Yeah, I'm a dinosaur. What do you got? You know, it's a great tactic for winning the battle. I don't know for the war. If we go back here, it's quote tweeted by Piers, and he says, "You really need to get laid, you deluded little twerp." I actually had a bit of a debate here today with people in the comments to the clips from last night's stream that were saying, "Oh, he hasn't had sex yet. Oh my God, that's terrible. He's an idiot." And I don't know if it's a generational thing, but dude, it's this least sexy time in America that people are not having sex. I always encourage people, go out, man, have a great night. But I know that, dude, we have the statistics. People are not getting laid. It's not happening, men and women. 1/3 of men have not had sex in the past year. So this insult to me, it really strikes me as a 90s bully movie insult. And Piers obviously being older, I'm sure this was a great insult at the time. I remember this was an insult when I was in high school. But I don't really think it really hits anymore, you know? So I'm not sure if this is a great insult. And then Nick Fuentes retweeted it and he said, you need to get your wife, bro. So, all right, we have, this is great stuff. This is great WWE, man. This is great stuff. Here we have You know, I bet you guys were all watching this Nick Fuentes interview. And you were all thinking, this is great, but what does Joe Budden have to say about this? Why is everyone getting in on this? Everyone is enjoying this. Everyone is America. Man, they really need to fix the NBA and the NFL because our sports are so bad that Joe Budden is commenting on this. Obviously, Mark Lamont Hill, who I actually kind of like, is on this podcast, so it's going to be political. But Joe Budden, who gives a shit what Joe Budden has to say about this interview? I don't. Let's see what Joe Budden had to say. What does Ja Rule have to say about 9/11?
Well, I just wanted to shout out Piers Morgan because of the job he did in the interview.
Did he just cut it off as soon as it started?
No, it was about a 2-hour interview, and he played back all the homeboys' clips for him in case he misspoke or wanted to readdress some things, and it was interesting to listen to. It was.
I don't think we should give those type of people any airtime whatsoever.
Yeah,
I think doing that is giving them gas. Fuck that.
I struggle with it. I see both sides of it. Like putting them on air because this.
Mark is a friend of Piers, and Mark is actually cool for any of the Groiper types. I actually like Mark. Mark is a guy who I disagree with Mark on a lot. I can't really think of someone I agree with except for Baudrillard on most things. But Mark is another guy I don't agree with on a lot. But he does have principles, man. He got fired from CNN, I believe, because he would not shut up about the Israel-Palestine issue 10 years ago, you know? And, you know, I like Mark. Mark has insightful commentary, even though I think he goes, it's kind of my same criticism of Fuentes in the other way, where I'm like, it doesn't have to be race-based. Like, he has good takes on policing, but he bases it on race. And I'm like, dude, this applies to everyone, you know? So I like Mark. Mark is an okay guy. I don't hate the guy. And that he's playing it straight down the middle because he has a relationship with Piers. And he's a journalist. He understands the value in interviewing people.
Somebody's going to watch that and still get something from it. And it will do more for Nick Fuentes than it will for the enemies of Nick Fuentes. Yeah. But there's also
that's a matter of opinion,
and that's what I'm saying.
That is a matter of opinion.
I think it all comes down to how you engage the person. You know what I mean? You can't normalize the person. I think you got to beat the shit out of them. And if you don't beat the shit out of them, then it doesn't work.
I think it's important for black people to go in black spaces and tell people who down and who ain't. Mm-hmm. It's people that have no idea who Homeboy is. I didn't know very much about him.
Me neither.
And with this whole political right-wing upstart young white people that they're trying to just put in political places, it's important to say, hey, this dude's a racist, no denying it. And that's it.
I agree with that. I just think that sometimes it's like it can backfire and people can take the opinion of, well, he's entitled to believe what he wants to believe. Like that's
but it's good to see them
I hate
too.
hearing both sides. I don't want to hear his side. I know enough. I've seen him fucking wear a Nazi flag and I'm cool.
Oh yeah, you have more info.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I don't ever need to hear you speak again, quite frankly.
I wonder if this is accurate, or I can say for myself, you know, I wasn't very familiar with Nick Fuentes. Is the Black American community now becoming familiar with Nick Fuentes as well, which is a big marker? I would have thought, because I found out about Nick Fuentes through Kanye West, who I've been a fan of since I was a kid. I love Kanye, you know. Always will love Kanye. I will defend him on 99% of things. I don't care about the Mike Myers interview. He said the right thing at the right time about George Bush doesn't care about black people. I'm not going to comment on the other stuff that people, you know, it's sensitive for YouTube, but Kanye is a genius. For me, Kanye can do no wrong. He made Runaway. He's a great guy. I've always been an admirer of the guy. And I thought that would have told a lot of black people about Nick Fuentes, you know, black American people. But it seems like people are just finding out now.
Or what you could do is not bring him on, but like put his words up and then chop down his words. Like, you know, like play a clip of him and then break down why it's bullshit and play another clip. So that he doesn't get to actually like be on the show, but people can find out why he ain't shit.
See, I think that I'm with Parks. Platform and racist, period. We just don't need to do it. But I think that helps them. Because now that gives I was taken out of context. It was this.
And this is a moot point. I don't think it's worth watching much more because he was already platformed, so it doesn't really matter. Joe Budden. I didn't know Joe Budden was a political figure. I guess if Jillian Michaels is a political figure, I guess we get to have Joe Budden. And finally, here we have this young guy here. I've seen him around on Twitter before. His name is Lewis. I've never been a big fan of his content. It's maybe I'm too old to get it. I'm not a TikTok guy. I'm a Twitter guy. I missed the boat on that. And here he's talking about how Nick Fuentes is a loser, and they keep using the same insult, even in America. Even people who should be more clear-headed in their critique, it's the same insults.
If you are a fan of Nick Fuentes, I feel sorry for you. When you find out he is a 27-year-old boy who has never had contact with a woman, but speaks on them every day, hates them, has admitted he hates them because of the lack of attention he receives because they know he is somebody to avoid. I mean, this guy stays in his house all day because he knows the second he steps outside, it's danger. So he feels comfortable speaking about people and other races and women like this all day long because he never actually comes outside. Fact of the matter is Nick Fuentes is a loser, and if you support him, that makes you a loser as well. There's actual male role models out here that have accomplished something instead of the below mediocre guy that gets mad at everybody else and lashes out because of his.
Now, this is where my criticism would start. I don't think Nick Fuentes is positioning himself as a male role model. Maybe people see him that way. But the saying that there are male role models for people to model their life after, I would even contend with that point, guys. I don't think that that's accurate. I think that the male role models that are worth emulating, most of them are dead. Most of them died. If I could think of any, Baudrillard, of course. But who else? Steve Jobs, dead. Do you want to be like Bill Gates? Not really. You want to be Steve Jobs. The strong silent type, the Gary Coopers of the world, they're dead. Where are the male role models? Not only male role models in the classical tradition of, masculinity and all this, but in terms of success in this modern society, because as I've said before, I made a video about it. It's a tough world out there for guys because capital has chosen woman as the more productive gender. And I'm not mad at capitalism. This is where I would differ with some of the Fuentes critiques. I'm not mad at capitalism about it or women about it. It's just a matter of that's the economic system we have. And that's just the way it works at this point. You can argue about changing it, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. And men are not doing well in it anymore. So when we see this, where are the male role models that we can point to and say, oh, these are people to emulate. These are people who are attaining success. Who is it? Peter Thiel, successful guy. So what, you're going to start another company to process internet payments? Where are the male role models? I'm not saying Nick Fuentes is one, but where are the alternatives?
Lack of accomplishment in his own life. His own failures and inferior feelings towards himself is somehow everybody else's fault, so he lashes out at them and tries to tear down other communities because he feels inferior in his own skin. He feels less than and the lack of, and that is all of his supporters. So if you want to be stuck in that incel category forever, go ahead. We will ignore you. We do not care about you. It is time to deplatform and ignore Nick Fuentes and anybody.
And the prescription. Hasn't this been tried already? We went through it yesterday. First it was ignore, then it was cancel, then it was pervy Persian uncle PBD telling you not to say the N-word, then it was Candace Owens doing her interview, then it was Tucker's CIA tactics interview, and finally it's the tabloid journalism interview, and none of this has succeeded in stopping this message. So I think that that's silly. I think that that's silly. That's our update today on this Fuentes beef, man. This is a great season of WWF. Let's continue, man, to our other story where we have Tim Pool. This was the funniest thing I've seen all day. You guys know that I've been critical a little bit of Candace Owens on this channel. I said that she was trying to drive the country nuts and make everyone crazy. But what I realize now, how I learned to love Candace Owens, is that no, what she was doing is she was trying to cope with a tragic death that no one actually cares about, including Erica Kirk, who's just a grifter, and drive the MAGA coalition nuts. The talking heads there. We don't have time to get to YouTube today, but PBD has released like 4 videos where he's talking about this civil war. I guess Tim Pool was right. A civil war was coming, but it was coming for him. It was coming for him. The MAGA coalition, MAGA is dying. That shit is dying. I had noticed it in my personal life. A lot of the MAGA supporters I know, older people and younger people, they don't really identify with the movement anymore for various reasons. whether it be the economy or the way illegals are being handled. And Tim Pool seems to be suffering. And Candace Owens, if you can get Tim Pool to shut down Timcast, the legendary fence sitter. Well, let's see how he's reacting to her accusation in a thumbnail that he was responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Let's see how he reacts to this. It's very funny, dude. It's very funny because I know everyone here has met a guy like Tim Pool before, and when they get angry, it's so funny.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down. And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay?
We have confirmation. The MAGA coalition is dead, Tim Pool has declared. It's about time, dude. It's about time. It's about time.
Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know.
Okay, that's enough. That is so funny. And I gotta say, he's late to the party. My channel trailer on this is 9 months ago. I told people Trump was not going to fix America. From an apolitical lens, I said it. When everyone was saying, things are gonna go great, Tim Pool, Konstantin Kisin, oh, they're gonna be great. I said, this is not going to get better. And he finally woke up and smelled the coffee. But Candace, dude, imagine driving a man to this level of insanity. Like, this is awesome. Normally, I would say this is WWE. It's a great performance. I think he's genuinely angry. I think he's actually mad. And Candace responded in great fashion. Candace, I doubted you, lady, but you are funny. You are funny. Let's see here how she reacted to this. She watched the whole thing.
Live there. How the am I even supposed to sell this property?
So there's a lot to unpack there. First and foremost, what you are seeing right there is not a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys, okay? What you are seeing is actually a display of estrogen. Everything he is doing there is somebody who is not a man. He is not tough, and he would never dare to speak to a man like that, right? People that find that very easy. Secondly, Tim Pool doesn't even have the intellect to understand that we put him in the thumbnail because he accused me in a full episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, which we showed and contextualized, of being someone who benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination. So he thinks he's being accused. No, you accused me of that in like a actually, I think it was 2-hour episode with Milo Yiannopoulos in which Milo defended me and explained.
All right. And then it just turns into gossip. But I have to, dude, she has become the lady from, I love erotic thriller. That's my favorite genre of movie, and it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. I love erotic thrillers. They're my favorite. Michael Douglas is a great actor. She is every villain in an erotic thriller, man. What's that one called? The one with Michael Douglas where she's crazy, the blonde lady? That Breathless, the Richard Gere remake. She is the crazy lady. And she just drives the men nuts. Like, she drives them nuts. Good for you, Candace. I may have had my differences, but that is great stuff. That is very, very fun. Basic Instinct. I saw that, Mystery Lou. Guys, please at me in the chat if you want me to read it, because I saw that one come in on time. That's how I saw it. Basic Instinct, dude. She's the lady from Basic Instinct, just driving men nuts. Thank you. Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk broke apart the MAGA coalition. I don't know how they did it. I don't know what she did, but I'm so glad to see it. It's about time. And with that, we have to get to the last vestiges of the MAGA coalition. We can't start here. This is Piers who commented on this. Yeah. All right. We're going to start over here. Yeah, we'll end with this, actually. We'll end with that. So here we see Erica Kirk, who I have called the evil woman. The evil woman. Just like Electric Light Orchestra. Nailed it. Nailed it. From day one, I said this woman was evil, and I took so much shit for it. Oh, King Leo, you're an asshole. Oh, no, she's not evil. She's mourning her husband. Really, dude? Really? She's posting pictures of his coffin, and that's, yeah. Fuck you if you called me evil for that, because now is when people are waking up to it. Now. And she's doing her little live tour. It hasn't been 3 months since he's been killed. 3 months. Jackie Kennedy waited 6 years before getting remarried to Onassis. What is she saying here? What is she doing with Charlie's name? Let's see what she's doing.
It's those little things where...
First of all, she's not even trying anymore. She can't cry on cue. She can't cry on cue, but she's still going to wipe away tears. You're going to see.
It's those little things where, again, he would walk through the door, drop his bags, Daddy's home, take his phone, Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. And that's what I always wanted to make so special for him, was coming home. I'd always say, baby, I don't care what time you get home. Home is here for you. Your food will never be cold. It might sit out for a little bit, but I'll reheat it. It's fine. And I just want to encourage spouses, don't get mad. It's so easy. Don't do it. It's those little things.
Boo. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I genuinely, we are the only people that mourned him on the internet, this channel here. Boo-hoo. What is this Shabbat Shalom thing? Charlie Kirk used to come in and yell Shabbat Shalom and throw his phone into the... What? What are we doing? Charlie Kirk, I have Candace claiming he was Catholic. His wife is now claiming that he was Jewish. Charlie, I'm sorry, man. This is really hard to watch for me. I have seen what death does to people in terms of inheritances, but I've never seen something this crazy. The only people who love this guy are the people posting Charlie Kirk memes. This woman is so damn evil. An evil woman. Why would dragging your husband's legacy through the mud? All because she wanted TPUSA. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Single mom says, play the you don't get to ask those questions YouTube Candace short. Oh, please send me the link. Please send me the link because we're queued up here. So send me the link, but I know which one you're talking about. That was pretty funny. Here she did another interview. And Piers Morgan quote tweeted and says, the way Miss Erica Kirk has been treated since her husband Charlie's death is so despicable. Those who fuel deliberate lies about her and the murder purely for financial gain are beyond contempt. I think that's a subtweet at Candace, which, look, we could say Candace is wrong, that she's not correct, that I don't know, who was Candace saying killed Charlie Kirk at this point? It was first like the French, then it was that country in the Middle East, then it was President Trump, then it was TPUSA. I don't know. I don't care. Candace, keep doing what you're doing. Make Tim Pool cry harder, please. And here she's addressing the conspiracy theories, which, by the way, if there's anyone to blame, it's the FBI for being so weird about this investigation. Same as Butler. Same as Butler. Let's see what she has to say about these conspiracy theories.
With Erica Kirk sharing her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss of her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erica, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracy.
I guess she's not wearing hot pants and grabbing JD Vance's ass anymore. She's dressing more conservatively now. This evil bitch. Charlie, you did everything right, dude. I hated Charlie Kirk. I never liked the guy. I never liked him. But this makes me feel for him so much.
These that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing?
What acting school did she go to? This is clearly acting. It's acting. It's not real. And of course, like Michaela Peterson, she has to show up with her iced out fingers, not one ring, not, I don't know, be tasteful, her engagement ring to remind her about Charlie. No, we need all four, and we need to display them on screen. Iced out cross necklace. Fuck, give me a fucking break, dude. This woman is evil.
Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. Can I have one?
This is Meghan Markle level. Can I have one thing? Privacy, please. You posted a video of you touching his dead, formaldehyded body not 24 hours after he had been assassinated. You want privacy? Spring Piazza says, last time you saw this acting was at a Miss Venezuela bash. Dude, for real, I guess she has a beauty queen background, so that makes sense. Look, iced out ear. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break. Fuck you. Anyone that told me that I was wrong, if you were the police, would you not investigate this person? Would you not be like, was there a life insurance policy on this guy? Because she's way too happy.
Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right
My producer is begging me to do, because I know we get a lot of Woods in the chat, not to call anyone out, Mr. Elu, Ephra. Which one of these evil women is more attractive? Michaela Peterson or Erica Kirk? You know, both of these ladies, if you ever meet them, take a big step back. But which one of them is more attractive?
right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point US.
Silence? What silence? You came out to firecrackers when he died. You sold out an event. You had Elon Musk there. You had Patrick Bet-David, the genius, there. What silence? I haven't heard silence out of this woman's mouth since her husband's neck exploded.
And all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil.
And look, she's promoting her book. This is her book. Everything is a grift, man. If I can give you any advice, when you are going to couple up with someone, when you're going to get married, I don't know what the Erica Kirk test is, dude, but do not end up with this. Do not. This is so sad to see. It's not a sexist thing. If a husband did this to his wife, it would be even more transparently evil. This is so disgusting. Does that say Erica? It could be Charlie. Either way, she's getting the royalties for the book. She's using this to promote more money for herself.
They're trying so hard, and I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love.
When you go after my corporation family, what the fuck are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? When you go after my TPUSA family, hey, when you go after my Apple Incorporated family, and I will go after you, Erica Kirk. I said this from day one. I still get comments on that video. Fucking evil witch.
You're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this. No.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
Does every conservative striver wife want to be Jackie Kennedy? Because Ron DeSantis' wife is the same way. Do they all want to be Jackie Kennedy? Why don't you marry a Democrat if you want to be Jackie Kennedy so bad? This is righteous anger. If it were righteous anger, you would have literally pulled a Jackie, showed up with a bloody dress to show people show the world what they did to your husband. This evil one.
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know, the conspiracies that are out there, all of the like, do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas.
It's conspiracy to say that it's uncouth to show up with, what is that? Is that $50,000 on her hands? On her hands, not even on her wrist, on her hands. I bet that's 18 karat at least. That's a conspiracy theory to say that you're flaunting your wealth. What the fuck are we talking about here? What everything is a conspiracy theory now? Any sort of criticism is a conspiracy theory? Spring in Fialta says the CIA used MK Ultra against the Unabomber. True. Erica, they just used MK Middle. I haven't heard of that, so I'm going to look into it.
Like, seriously, you will, if you...
But I don't know if this is what you mean, Spring, but this, I can tell this is an ambitious, this is the lady your mama warned you about. Your mama warned you about this, dude. She said, hey, it's like the guy who was the head of Gucci. He married some lady who was not of his class, and she murdered him for his money. I'm not saying Erica Kirk did that. I'm just saying this pattern repeats itself, this striver pattern, which is in men and women. Women, be wary too. Men can do this to you. This is a human archetype, the striver, the leveler. These people, these social climbers, they will get the better of you.
Want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people that I love, and I'm done. I'm done. And if people think that I was just going to wilt away, I'm not going to sit in a corner and cry and be in fetal position. This is a duty to my husband, and it's an absolute honor, and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
Stop.
And that's what we will say here on Outnumbered 2. God bless you. Hold up your book.
Stop in the name of God.
Amen.
Hold up your book. Make sure you get your plug in. I mean, dude, your mama warned you about this woman. She warned you about this. And since then, here we have Candace Owens, who continues this war. It's very, look, Candace has said some crazy stuff about this whole thing. I'm the first to admit it. I like the effect. As a Baudrillardian, I study the symbol and its effects. I don't study the content. The effects is having Tim Pool go nuts and Erica Kirk go nuts. So good on you, Candace. And here now she's actually making fun of her.
And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. You know, like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of.
I don't know about any of this, but the first point is completely correct. This woman has lost her mind. She thinks that she is America's Jesus or something, that she's untouchable. She's FDR now. She's JFK. What are you talking about? You're insane. There's not much more worth seeing here, but I'm glad to see people calling this woman out. And I'm not doing this for the gossip, I'm not a chatty Cathy over here. We're doing this because this is further proof that this MAGA movement is dying. It is dying. Charlie Kirk seemed to have been the glue holding this together, and this movement is dying. Praise be to God. This was ungodly, unholy. Let's continue. We have Tucker Carlson entering the mix here on the Theo Von podcast, who I don't like. But here on the Theo Von podcast, now he's speculating too. And you cannot blame these speculators, man. How has the FBI bungled this so badly? So badly. It's ridiculous.
Who was Charlie Kirk?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I love his wife and know his wife well. And so I feel emotional about it. So, I just haven't wanted everything to do with it. But I will say a couple of things. I don't understand the official story at all.
Of his assassination,
I
you mean?
don't understand it, and I want to make sure that there is a truly rigorous and honest federal investigation of it, and I'm definitely concerned about that.
This is important because, as we've seen, one of the fractures that the MAGA, not interlopers, but the people who are more critical of President Trump, like Tucker Carlson, have started to do is they're trying to fracture Kash Patel and Donald Trump. It has not worked so far, but they're really trying to do that. I would be very pleased. I'm not a fan of Kash Patel. As someone who, I don't vote, right? But I care about gun rights. Kash Patel promised so much shit, and he was just as full of shit as anyone else. Kash Patel, what is he there for? What has he done? I'm for abolishing the FBI altogether. They're pieces of shit. What's the point of the FBI? They don't do anything. Kash Patel has demonstrated this over and over. And so this attempted, and it's very subtle. Tucker's pointing it out. As he's also saying it's not Kash's fault. It's other people maybe. This would be a good rift. Because if you want to cause chaos in the White House, which is very hard to do because I think Trump lives in some sort of Truman Show where people just bring him ideas and they create this little world for him. He only sees what they show him. He probably thinks Kash Patel's a hero. He's been doing super well. Kash Patel has let everyone down, left and right. He's a piece of shit. And it's good to see if they can fracture the White House itself. I don't know what the point of it would be. I guess it would be to pressure Trump to hire good people. Too late for that. But it's interesting to see that develop.
A. B. I think that one of the, I don't know many of the details, but I know that recently Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true. That's true.
And here, this is the end. We don't have to watch much more of this. We don't have to watch any more of this because there's another Tucker clip that came out today. Here we have a clear WWE division. Stone Cold is now allying with Hulk Hogan. Tucker Carlson is firmly on Candace Owens' side. So there is a split here, dude. Tim Pool is not on their side yet. Who knows if there will be a third front, a third group of people. But rest assured, saying this, co-signing Candace's conspiracy theory, whether you believe it's true or not, it's fine. Co-signing it publicly indicates that this guy has taken a clear and particular side. Piers Morgan, who is buddies with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, but not with Nick Fuentes, who we can't say he's buddies with Tucker. They have public beef, which is good in the sense of Tucker and Piers can remain together. Piers has Trump's ear. That's why he's important in this whole picture. This is an important coalition that is breaking off of the MAGA TM version. That's what I can read off of this. Let's continue. What else we got? We got this. Here tonight, we had Erica Kirk talking to my wife, Barry Weiss. My heart belongs to one woman, and it's Barry Weiss, the sexiest woman in America. Groypers, if you're new here in this chat, if you attack Barry Weiss, I rewatch these shows to improve them, and I see the chat after. But rest assured, I read all the chats. Do not insult Barry Weiss. She is the most beautiful woman in this country. She's a terrible writer, but she is a fine-ass woman. And someday it's going to happen. This happened tonight, where Erica Kirk's fucking media tour continues. What did she talk about with Barry?
Erica, one of the most alarming things about Charlie's murder was the way that some people in this country reacted
Barry put on a lot of rouge tonight. She's looking real good.
To it. Yeah. And not just online. This was an idea that you encountered a lot. And the idea was this. They kind of justified it. They basically said that because Charlie said or believed things that they believed were controversial or even hateful, that he somehow had it coming. What do you say to people who justified his death?
You're sick. He's a human being.
No. The people who justified Charlie Kirk's death I don't like doing that. I don't think that that's appropriate. But those people who justified his death, I will say clearly, viewed Charlie Kirk as a dangerous and evil human being. True. But Erica Kirk views this man in death as a cash grab, as a bag of money. And if you ask me, do I want someone that looks at me as an evil human being or someone that sees me as a cash bag? I'll take the former. I'll take the former. Really rich from you, Erica. Really rich.
You think he deserved that? Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter. Excuse me. You want to watch in high res the video of my husband being murdered and laugh and say he deserves it?
Wow, she got a tear out. She got a tear out. Why isn't she wiping it away? Why isn't this happening? Oh, is it for the camera?
There's something very sick in your soul, and I pray that God saves you. I pray. Because that is what is so wrong. The internet in this world has dehumanized us.
Disgusting. Disgusting. And finally, we're going to watch here Tucker doubling down. He put this on his YouTube. We just have to watch the beginning of it.
In the 3 months since Charlie Kirk was murdered,
3 months. That's Erica Kirk after 3 months doing a media show.
I've really tried not to comment on the murder investigation in public, and it's not because I don't care, of course. I love Charlie and knew him well since he was a teenager. But I haven't said anything about it. I really tried not to say anything about it. First, because I don't really know anything that everyone else doesn't know. I've asked around, but of course, how do you know what the truth is? But the other reason I haven't said anything is because I know personally a number of the people involved in what's now become a very large story. I know them really well. And I really think a lot of all of them on every side. Candace Owens, I've known a long time. I love Candace Owens.
Doubling down on Candace. This coalition is going to matter. Candace has millions of largely female subscribers, and Tucker has millions of largely male subscribers. They both skew conservative. This coalition matters.
Blake Neff at TPUSA once worked for me at a couple of different places, and I love Blake Neff. Erica Kirk, I've known since she was dating Charlie Kirk, and I love Erica Kirk. And I think these are all really, really decent people. And so it's been my desire for 3 months not to get involved in any of this. And in general, to think to myself, anybody who is earnestly searching for the truth, whether they're right or wrong, but as long as they're motivated by a desire to find out what happened and therefore honor Charlie's memory by getting to justice, anyone who's doing that, I'm not going to criticize. Again, no matter what track they're on, lots of us, and this is
doubling down on Candace. That's what's important for this WWE season. We have Tucker doubling down. Trump, the coalition is broken, sir. You have not pleased the audience, and people are mad. And we will see things change. I'm going to end a little early tonight, and I'm going to send the Discord link here because I've noticed a lot of new followers. For any new people here, this is the Discord. It's free. If you want to see a particular video, something that has value, we're a Baudrillardian channel. We're looking for symbols that have value to predict the future to some extent, to try to make sense of this insane world. Send it on the Discord, link it on YouTube. It doesn't really matter. Either way, let me have the plugs open here. There we go. Do it however you want, but the Discord is there, and I have boomer tech when it comes to this, but we have Aria in here and Audio Vibes. We've been able to do stuff, so it's free. You can send it here. You can put it on the YouTube comments, whatever you want. To the Groypers specifically, I know we have some Groypers. I saw them when I replayed the chat of last night. Guys, I appreciate anyone that likes a channel. We're not a really political channel in that sense. Like we're not identified with either side. We're just trying to understand the world we live in. I'm just going to say I haven't seen any behavior like this. Please be courteous. You know, this channel, originally. I don't know if it still does. Maybe we're more balanced now. It skews left. We have a lot of left guys in here that they're guys and gals, and they're great. Arya, Mr. Elu. Who else is a lefty in here? I don't really know who else is a lefty. I know those two for sure. Pajarito Lindo's a Stalinist. Very cool. So guys, can't we all get along? In the words of Rodney King, you know, not saying anyone's doing anything wrong, but just everyone give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. I love having you guys here. I love the channel growing. And shout out in particular to, let me see if he's in the chat, dude. Let me see here. What's his name? I think it was Alex. He had a dog profile picture, man. Where is he? Yes, Alex GB77SM, who is also of the left, and he is a friend of Nick Fuentes' content. He likes Nick Fuentes' content. Shout out, dude. You've provided some great insights into what we should play and all that, which we've had all along, dude. Like, I Hate Everything, Mr. Elu, all of these guys, Arya, they provided great stuff for us to watch. So keep doing that. It helps out. Anything you think has value to understand the political world we're in, because I want to enter next year and 2028 knowing who's going to win. I did not call the last election right, and I would like to get the next one right. That's why I watch Piers Morgan, dude, because he always calls all the elections right. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to read all the chats when we're done here. Appreciate you tuning in. The new Groypers, I'm glad you're here. Just everyone get along. We're not staking any flags here. The only flag is that of Baudrillard, our hero on this channel. Let's pull up a picture of the great man, Baudrillard. This is our philosopher king here. We study his work, and we believe he is correct about most things. So with that, everybody, I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing takes half a second. Liking takes half a second. Join us on Patreon. Join us on getting a What Would Piers Morgan Do bracelet. Wear it ironically, Groypers. And join us on Discord. Links in the chat. You guys have a great time. Patreon, the King Leo Movie Club will start tomorrow, probably. So for $5 or $20, I will post that, either one you want. Or become a member on YouTube. It's $1.99 a month. Anything helps. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. 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 Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.